IVM.
Folks, all your banking woes are set to come to an end. The Jupiter Digital Banking app solves all your issues. Filing out lengthy forms to open an account is a thing of the past because on Jupiter Money, it takes all of 2 minutes to set your account up. KYC is super easy and smooth on the app, unlike other banking apps which scan and rescan your docs. This is true, man. It drives you nuts. All right? It also has some very cool, very user-friendly features which lets you keep track of your spending and even manage savings. All there on that small screen. Just visit the Jupiter.money website to find out more or download the Jupiter app on Android and iOS to get started. Jupiter and I are now good friends.
कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen yaar, don't be so conservative.
Welcome to Cyrus Says, brought to you by Jupiter, a banking app that helps you master your money. And I'm like a pianist looking across my keyboard, and I come to the conclusion that today is a day of positive news. I'm going to share a hack which is going to change your life if you drive your own car. Unfortunately, the Lewis Hamilton who was supposed to be driving my car has gone on leave, and now the Sebastian Vettel who replaced him, he went to jail for some reason. So in all that mess, I had to drive myself. While I was driving myself, I mentioned this, I realized that parking is a huge problem for us here in southern Mumbai and perhaps most of India. But I have a hack, a great hack. I had to wait outside my daughter's school for her and the others to come out of the class, about 10 minutes. But it's on a main road and it's a little difficult and congested and it's tough and there are police everywhere. So I did one thing. I opened the bonnet and then I kept the parking light on, and then I just stood out and I started looking at the car and I kept a little distance. And now if anybody approached me and they didn't, I would just say it's not working, something's wrong, I can't figure it out. And I got another point. If they say they'll try and start it, and it will start immediately because it's perfectly fine, I just have to walk away and pretend to be on the phone so that 10 or 12 feet apart, that keeps the laser from not operating, which is in my pocket in the key, which means the start won't happen because I'm too far away. So they'll keep kicking that clutch and pressing the start button and nothing will happen. It's foolproof. This is my gift to you. You'll have to evolve it depending on what car you drive, but all you have to do is pretend the car's not working. Then there's no question of a 500 rupee fine. It is $500 for bikes and $1,000 for cars, by the way. And really shiny cars, $2,000 I'm told. All right, that's the hack to put you all in a good frame of mind.
Have you ever wondered where the business world is headed? How the ways in which we create, market and sell to consumers will evolve? Or if we'll ever go back to wearing pants while working? For answers to all of this and more, tune into Advertising is Dead with me, Varun Dugirala. Every Tuesday, as I talk to entrepreneurs, leaders and change makers from across business, media, marketing and beyond. You can catch all episodes of Advertising is Dead on the IVM Podcast website, app or wherever you get your podcast from.
And now, to put us in a better frame of mind, we have some female quality on the show finally. And this time I don't mean you, Silverie. I mean actual female. Kajol, thank you for dropping in.
Hey, Cyrus.
You smile in the beginning, and by the 15th minute, you are abusing me and tearing me down. And I feel
I can push it a little further this time. 17 minutes.
Oh, damn it. All right. So it is coming. And we may be joined by His Highness Amit. But
Amit is right here. He is just connecting. He's just
I'm struggling.
So then the story I was about to tell about him
stuff.
saving a little child who had fallen on the road and was being attacked by a mountain bear, that's not going to make sense. So I'm not going to go into that story. All right. So he's already here. That's great. That's great.
So Cyrus, your hack is, by the way, I think it could work for everyone. It's a very good
brilliant.
hack.
It's my gift.
Yeah.
I'm not selfish. You can take it, Silverie. And you've got so many cars, so you'll have parking issues all the time.
Yeah, all of them. I can just park all of them in the middle of the road.
Yeah,
now.
just
and
bonnet keep the bonnet or the hood up and just act a little, irritated and puzzle, frown and all
I've
that.
actually thought of that. I think of things like this also. Okay, like what I think is sometimes like
we are forced to do it. Oh, sorry.
Exactly. So say I break a traffic law. Okay, like say I cut a signal and then I see that I'm about to get caught by a cop. No, I've thought, what if I immediately start like digging my nose before the cop catches me? Like, would he
Very
want
good
to talk
idea.
to someone who's digging his nose?
He
or, like,
wouldn't want to
scratching his
interact.
ear or
Yes,
something?
it's possible.
Right?
It's
Okay,
possible.
just one
No,
second. Whichever parts of town y'all are in, y'all aren't getting these automatic tickets via camera.
He's talking about the old days, and sometimes they do catch you still.
Yeah,
They do.
And sometimes
But
they still catch you.
But Kajol, thanks for spoiling it, with your clear thinking.
Yeah,
Just set up
the camera doesn't catch if I'm hiding my face.
Like the cameras are too accurate. I had a rickshaw driver the other day cribbing because he's like, "Madam, challan mila. Rickshaw mein helmet nahi hai." They caught him for not wearing a helmet in a rickshaw.
How can that be right? Do they have to? Is that compulsory though?
No, it isn't.
Oh, that's
no,
a mistake that
it's a
the
joke.
camera made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Was it they can't catch the number plates is what my rickshaw guy told me. That they basically get away most of the time because the number plates are smaller and they don't zoom in on it properly. So they sort of
Okay.
get away. Yeah. It's always the rich who are the underprivileged of every country. The rich
Right.
are always targeted. We're the ones they go after. They always go after us. Our challans come in 5 seconds. The guy standing outside your door, Chalan and Happy Diwali, and off he goes. It's always like that,
Correct.
man.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. People don't think about this enough, but really, the targeted people in many communities are the ones who are doing well. Your prosperity makes you a target. They hate you. They want to bring you down. It's a crab mentality. Get that guy with the fancy car. How dare he park here? Poor guy parks there. It's okay. Look at the hardworking poor guy with his broken down car who's going to pick up those 2 ugly kids of his. Give him a chance in life. I hate all this. It has to stop. Someone talk for the elite. The elite are also people. Do they not bleed when you cut them? Do they not cry when you poke them in the nose? Vaguely, this is much.
We do.
Soliloquy.
Sorry.
Hello. Just you and me are rich. Amit wants to be on the middle of this side, and Kajol is now going to do the return of serve, and the beating is going to be merciless, ladies and gentlemen. So prepare. We all need helmets. Beware, not just the rickshaw. Put your helmet on. Yes. But can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Under all this stupidity, my point is that they all break the law in this city of ours when it comes to traffic. And after some time, I'm thinking, why just join the Jugaad group? Why not? Everybody just does what they want. So you have to do these
You
stupid
can't
things.
beat him, join him.
Can't beat them. First, why is the school built on a main road? That's not a pain in the ass, but it's already there. It starts from there. And in the meantime, there's a tech problem, and Amit and Silverie
all
are
No, it would be
Sorted in
me.
a second.
It
like
would be me.
conspirators.
Sorted in a second.
And a
'cause
poor
that's-
version
The
of
problem
Julius
was at
Caesar.
my computer, not your computer. Hence, it got solved in a second. as I
My
said.
computer, which is actually your computer, is above. It's like Portia, Caesar's wife, or Calpurnia, whatever name was. I can't remember now. Yeah. All right, so
Yes.
Calpurnia, no? Thank you,
Amit,
educated
before
one.
before I go on, I love what you're wearing. I just love it when guys combine colors well.
Will you stop
Really?
flirting with my
Okay.
guests and get on with this show? The show is not about flirting. It's about the pain of rich people. That's why they tune in.
Absolutely. Thank
Amit,
you, Kajol. I like
what's
it.
with the this shirt and shirt thingy? Is that a new thingy?
So I got used to it in the pandemic. I was wearing shorts with a t-shirt, and then every so often when I had to go out, I'd just put a t-shirt on top of it, and I kind of like it. So I used to do this in the 90s in the grunge era,
Yeah, I was about to
and
say
so
that.
now I've come back to
I
that.
didn't want to say that because in the 90s they thought this was cool and they made us all do that on television. The
Yes.
stylists would just come and say, you have to add a shirt. And I was like, why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wear a shirt on a shirt. In a poor country, it's so aggressively, I think it's obnoxious. Poor people with no clothes watch you with 2 shirts and a
Really,
hot
dude?
sun.
I don't think so. These t-shirts are literally like $3 each.
Are you actually giving me a rebuttal for my
In the sense of like, if you're saying this is an elitist shirt, it's not.
No, it's not an elitist shirt. Okay, start with a compliment. That's all it was from Kajol. Nothing more. Let's
This
leave
is
it
what
there.
all comedians wear on stage. Okay, it's always a t-shirt and a shirt. So
But why? Can you tell me what the psychology behind it would be?
For
I like the
comedians?
look.
It looks
Why-
cool.
why-
No,
why
so
would
no,
you
let's
go
look at it. So you don't
You're
go for the
letting your
suit.
outfit. You're
Yeah, no,
letting
you
your
don't go for the
outfit.
suit. That's too
Suit is
formal.
gone.
You don't
Suit
want the
days for
simple
comedians are
t-shirt
gone.
that's too less. Like the other end.
It
of the
it feels too casual, right? A t-shirt
Yeah, so-
feels like it's just like like you rolled out
This
of
is
bed.
the
and you know
hybrid.
it.
This is the
This
hybrid.
is a
This is
hybrid. Yeah,
the
exactly.
Prius, so to speak.
Exactly.
So if you
Yeah.
were to, you're saying if you were to button up that shirt, you would suddenly become a little bit more formal looking.
Yeah.
Is that right?
No,
Absolutely.
no. Why would you want to button up that
Now
shirt?
this is a man
I
after my
would
own
not.
heart.
to.
Basic
Wearing
trick
clothes
is saying
is
wearing
obnoxious.
clothes is obnoxious. I really wish we lived in a naked society. I hate clothes. Kumar Sanu, not the singer, or maybe the singer because we don't know for sure. Silverie Riding Hood. Put on your riding hood.
Yes.
Red Riding Hood.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it really is.
Wolf. Please leave me, Wolf.
That's a paradox. Your name is Silverie, your hood is red. What's going on?
Yeah, it's
Two colors for the
Red
price of
and
one
silvery.
comedian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Should we get to the topics?
May I just say that?
Oh, I have to start with something very interesting today.
Oh, okay.
Cyrus, this is something I will show you.
Whenever you say that, I always feel there's nothing else interesting. So maybe we should leave it for the end then.
No, we have a lot of interesting stuff. No, don't worry about it.
Okay, all right. One of the
alright,
interesting
so-
things. So,
Yeah, so this is a video that has come that was shared with me by Akshay K. Akshay K is one of our
Pro
listeners.
Parse Johnny.
Okay.
So challenge Johnny
And,
bhai.
Okay, and this is him talking about him on social media, and I think Cyrus, you might be able to relate.
Yeah, let's hear.
We cannot hear.
Is the
We
volume
can't
up?
hear.
No, it's not.
Is it in Farsi? I'm not able to pick it up. But now
Oh,
it's
man.
paused.
Okay,
So it's
sorry.
not his fault. This is
No,
not bad
no.
acting. John was about to speak. Okay, let's just make it clear. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Okay. Just so this is basically him talking about him on social media. I will just give.
But this was very interesting because we set it up and nothing happened. I think that's great.
Correct.
That's a new way to do things.
On brand.
Yeah.
Is he coming through? I mean,
I
should we just
I
call him
don't
directly?
know.
I have the number. Under 60,000, which means 60,000 Parsis left. So I put it under that bracket. Yeah. Yes. John, stay healthy. My brother, stay healthy. Huh? He's a big Liverpool supporter,
I think I
guys.
understand.
4-0. Kajol, in your face, Man United. Of course, very sad story that Ronaldo lost his twin child. One of the twins. How do you say
Yeah.
that correctly? One of the twins.
still no sound.
Can't believe.
Wow.
I can't believe in
let's
this
drop
day
this
and age.
idea. Let's move on to
with
a
the
new topic.
science-
Antariksh.
Yeah.
I've already continued with the science that is available. Sorry, it's a really solemn subject.
Oh.
I couldn't understand how a guy like Ronaldo, arguably the most popular all-round universal person in the world, there's not enough science to save his child at childbirth, even now. These are stories from the 70s and 80s when I was, a very young kid. You'd hear parents talking about it. As we turn the century, it started getting much better, and the chances of infantile, what's the word?
Infant
Infancy,
mortality.
infant mortality, thank you, God. It was less and less. And that's just shocking. But that's
Well, I
how
mean,
it is.
It
Any amount
has.
of things can go wrong in a procedure.
Yeah, but they get closer and closer to make it 100% foolproof, as against, say, 30 years ago.
Nothing.
They tick all the boxes. But
Nothing's 100%, right? I mean, like nothing's 100%, and it is so much better. It's not even funny, right? Like, I mean, the main reason why average ages have increased from 28 to the current close to 80 is not because people are necessarily living long on the back end. Though there is a little bit of that. The vast majority of it is people not dying as babies. That's the big reason why you've grown, why the average ages have grown so high. So
okay, let's go to a happier topic.
yes.
Yeah. So now it's finally shared, and Rishi, if you can just share it. Okay. And yeah.
All right, guys, this is seriously.
This is John taking a few extra takes.
Yeah,
because he's a perfectionist.
Right?
Now we're echoing. Amazing, guys.
Okay.
Cut it. Go to a new topic. Let's do something else. Do this tomorrow.
All right.
How sad.
No, correct. If it's glitching, then we can't. There's no
We
problem.
have people live with us, Cyrus. You have dinner in like 50 minutes. I mean, like, we can't really.
Amit's joke already up. First joke off the bat.
Okay, so moving on from one actor to another, there's the big update of the day is about Akshay Kumar, who got last week a new ad campaign of his with Vimal Elaichi came out with him promoting with Shah Rukh Khan and Ajay Devgan, Vimal Elaichi, which is basically a pan masala. And since that came out, he was been getting a lot of flack as to, hey, you promote this healthy lifestyle and don't smoke and don't
What's
do tobacco.
unhealthy about Elaichi?
No,
That's
Elaichi,
pan masala, that's but
But that's beautifully done by the marketing department. He's right. The way he said it is actually how they do it. They don't use the pan masala in the branding so much. It's almost Vimal alone and sometimes Vimal Elaichi.
It's like
And so
bagpiper
you don't
soda.
think-
Like
Yeah.
what's wrong with bagpiper
Yeah,
soda?
exactly. So don't think-
Or the Zuban Kesari or whatever.
Yeah,
Yes,
Zuban
Zuban
Kesari, exactly.
Kesari.
So
Yeah.
all of us have watched the ad and obviously like the product. There,
Yeah.
thumbs
So
up.
since then,
You like the
because the
I
entire
like
weekend,
supari
people
though.
were-
Sorry.
Sorry,
Sorry,
what?
the entire week.
Silverie, when you finish your documentary, I just have to have a little powwow with Kajol and Sprite. Sorry, but it's on. She got upset. I do like supari. I can't lie.
I somehow can't visualize you having supari.
Kajol, when I was young and broke, I'm still broke, but I'm
By
not
the
young.
packet.
Buy the packet and Milan supari and that's what was
Milan,
that? Sagundi, whatever you
Rasili,
call
and
those sweetie-
Chutki. Those were my three.
Yeah, there you go.
What?
Buy the
Milan
packet.
Supari, which was a small 10 paisa packet which had like
And
real
he's
supari
right.
in
He
it.
knows the pricing. He's absolutely right.
Rasili, which was a 50 paisa packet, which was like the Kharek Supari.
Yeah,
And
so
then
Rasili
Chutki, which was the
a
sweet,
taste up.
sweet pan
So the
para.
Blue one.
crudeness
Chutki to you
of
still
the
get.
Milan.
Yeah.
No,
Wait,
so
one
Milan
second,
Supari
one
was the
second.
cruder one, and then the Rasili was a slightly more sophisticated, better tasting, if you like, softer tasting one. Anyway,
Okay,
cut a long
no,
story
but-
short.
But Milan
Amit singing-
Supari was for the hardcore Supari consumer, right?
But
Because
you
it was
could not
hard. It
be.
was, huh?
You could not be. I'm just saying, if you like Supari, you like both. It's not really possible to only have a sweet sort of.
No, so
liking
I think
for
there
it.
were people who liked only Rasili and who did not like Milan Supari, right? Because Rasili Supari was like soft. It's like eating candy, just sweet pan flavored candy.
I can't believe we've gone from $3 a shirt to Rasili Supari.
Wait,
hello?
how long
I
were
just-
you a user of Sapari though?
Huh?
How long?
User? What is he not like main drug supply?
Yeah, exactly. When I was
That's my question too. That's Supari. You're massive
no. So
high,
when
like,
when no, nothing. When you were a kid, you ate Supari, and then once I grew up and went to college and like realized
And there was
I
no
was fucking up
supari
my
in
teeth
San
so
Diego,
badly.
so it was still difficult for him. Yeah.
No, even in HR I stopped. I stopped eating supari like when I was done with school.
The
I
relax
think.
says we have supari daily after lunch. Let's not make everything into a bad thing, man. This woke culture has to stop here. The little pan
Okay.
masala here.
No,
and there doesn't
I mean,
kill
like
anyone.
oral cancer is not really woke culture, though. I mean, right? Supari does give
But
you
you can't
cancer.
keep relating everything to everything, because everything is bad. I do think that things have gone on their head, turned completely crazy, and people just find from a little thing they just, blossom into a huge oak tree every
No,
time.
one second. I have a question.
Oh,
Okay, now, as a
yes.
non-supari consumer,
How dare you be on the podcast? Okay, go on. It's a supari podcast, it turned out.
okay, what sort of a feeling does it give you? Like, is it like a cigarette kind of a stress buster, or is it like a proper
It is
high?
addictive. It
Or
is definitely addictive.
Or is it just more of a mouth freshener?
It's
No, it's much more than that. How to explain
no.
it?
So it's a mouth freshener, but it's also a digestive. It helps you basically because you
But that's not
masticate,
it.
right? So
It's a taste, brother. The
no, it is
taste,
the
we
taste.
like it.
But Cyrus, is sugar. Essentially, it's sugar, but it's the digestive factors of it that kind of make it addictive, right?
But why do we
The
get
fact-
addicted to it? What is only the sugar?
It's
It's
sugar
got a
and-
unique sort of blend that we like, right?
But it's
The
sugar.
smell
right?
I used to
like,
love as well.
It's got
Yeah.
the beetle nut, no? It does have the
Yeah.
beetle nut.
It is the
But
beetle
John
nut.
was basically
It is the
the
beetle
nut in the
nut.
Beatles, but yeah, okay, I'll take that. That was
Really,
low.
man.
Leave
Some
that.
of the George Harrison stuff is up there too.
Yeah.
Some of
but
his stuff
John,
is out
John
there.
was
He's
the
out there.
wackiest. Okay. Are we going there now from Milan
Did
Supari
you know?
to George
Hold
Harrison?
on. You know what I found
I'm a
out?
big fan of Supari.
So I just came across this thing a couple of days ago, or like maybe a week ago or so. Did you know there was a George Harrison song called Dehradun?
It's
No.
very possible. There's also a place called Dehradun.
Oh.
So, you know
There
what
is.
I mean?
He's written it about the place.
Yeah.
When he
Right.
was doing the Rishikesh
So-
thing and he was nuts
So
about the whole
he
thing.
would be
right?
here every year, right? And live in
Yeah.
Pavlova, the building next to mine,
Huh.
where Ravi Shankar had a flat. This is true. No one's going to believe me.
okay.
This is like
Huh.
saying Amitabh Bachchan could in my building. Also true. Nobody believes me. Really, I swear to my mother, it's true. But when you're with me and you have the true story once in 100 stories, nobody believes you. but elder people would tell us about George Harrison coming and whatever. And of course, Amitabh's story is legend. And I surprised him at an interview once as well. Anyway, to cut a long story short, so he used to live here and spend a lot of time in the south, in the north, in Goa, all these places. So it's very possible. Can you sing Dehradun?
It was no, I can't sing anything, but I
It's
definitely
an
don't want to.
orange saffron stage. It's an orange saffron stage. Jai Guru Deva.
I've heard
Pass
a
me some of
song
that
called-
old time supari, brother. So can I just quickly, Kajol, tell you how bad we were? I don't know if Amit was similar. I used to take, it was 10p exactly for a long time. This is no inflation in those days. Long time, it's 10p, a small white packet of Milan Supari. I would take $2 or $3 from my father on the weekend and I would get like, so I'd get like 30 packets, things like that at one go. And I would sit in front of the video, playing video cassettes, however long we could, and chew, and I finish the packet on a Friday night or Saturday night.
Yeah.
That was your social life,
And there was
Why
there was
do you think
no,
Amit is wearing 2 shirts today? It's just not easy for us guys in
And-
Malabar Hill.
okay,
It's tough.
and all kids can buy this. Like there's
Well,
no.
yeah,
I
there
was
no
8, 9, I'm talking about.
nobody
Kid
paid
means
attention
kid,
to that
not
shit.
even like a teenager.
I could have bought cigarettes when I was 7 years old and nobody would have cared.
100%.
Yeah.
Phantom cigarettes we anyway bought.
Yeah.
Which were fake cigarettes.
Phantom cigarette is not a cigarette.
That is the
Sugar is
candy
worse than
bar.
tobacco. There's enough people to say that.
No.
That's a candy bar.
For me, sugar is worse than tobacco.
Oh.
My doctor says you have as much tobacco as you want, you won't die. But you have sugar, your death is imminent. I'm just saying. It's all relative. Perspective.
No, but
You gotta see it.
so I did not do the mass consumption of supari at any one given point in time, but I was a reseller in the school because so one of the
Exactly,
things
Manas.
about
He's
No.
trying to make a business out of something he loves. It's just normal.
no, but the thing about so one of the I think appeals about supari when we were that age, right, was you would eat it in class and you'd get caught and it was like, oh, not that big a deal kind of thing, right? But
It's a tough
so
one to eat in class because it produces sound.
it does, but it was still believe me, I sold it to eat in class only. So basically, I would buy. So it wasn't that much. I would basically get 1 day a week free out of it or something like that. So I mean, I wasn't even selling it for crazy amounts of money or anything like that. But I was.
No, but
selling
there's a
it for more.
difference. See, I have extreme personality issues, and he's more moderate, so that's why he bought less. It's not about money because we both could afford 30 packets. But me
I'm
being
sure.
extreme person, it's like I drank too much.
So,
not,
but in
the same thing.
actually, now that you mentioned the tours, so in the was the 87 World Cup in India or the 91 World Cup in India?
91 wasn't a World Cup. 87 was in India. The only Vimal series, Reliance
That was
Cup.
so that was 87,
Yeah.
right? So that
Only
one was
Vimal. The other Vimal. Only
yeah.
Vimal. Only Vimal. I love the
Also-
lyrics. Vimal,
yeah.
Vimal, Vimal, Vimal.
So Vimal, aka Reliance, right? I mean, like
Yeah.
that. But Rasili was also a sponsor of that particular World Cup, and so Rasili was doing a lot of advertising back then. And I remember buying like 50 packet ka Rasili
Yeah, I'd
packets.
love
at
to
that time.
know, Amit, what kind of money are we talking about turnover-wise for Milan Supari established brand or Rasili established
At
brand?
that point in time, I don't know. I really don't,
Huge.
because it's
Oh,
so
cash.
also it's all cash, no? So it
Yeah.
wouldn't be in the same way, right? Like even today, a lot
Bubblegum
of
killed
the
the Supari star.
yeah,
Damn it.
but like all the Elaichi brands and all of the other
Coming
ones, right?
back,
Yeah,
full circle.
they're all known. They're
He's
all
not
known for
finished the
cash.
topic. He was trying to tell us about the three actors coming together in Ajuba, the 2022 version of Ajuba. Huh? You
Okay.
finish it. So he's
Yeah.
apologized.
So he's apologized basically,
Yeah.
and basically he has
And
said,
he said he won't participate in any more after this contract, which has to
saying
fulfill.
yeah, I hear what you guys have said, and I understand where you guys are coming
And
from.
I'm giving the money away to charity.
Yeah, he said I'll give it to a worthy cause. I'll give the money
So
away to a worthy
we've
cause.
sent him a tweet saying IVM is a charity, and let's see how it goes.
Yeah, that'll be quite a lot of money. Yeah, that's true.
But
I-
listen,
I-
now I'll say this, whether it's hypocritical or not, I think that's pretty manly of him to do. I'm quite happy with that result. I think you should get off his back now.
No, but 1 second. He did
Now
it after
start
he
the
was
fight.
told. He did it
And
after
let's
he was
debate.
told.
There was the one of Goswami.
No, I would understand if he had a realization on his own, but this was after he was brutally trolled on
Yeah,
Twitter
yeah.
because they found this interview of his where he said I would never promote suparis or tobaccos and all, and then they interposed it with this ad. It was very hilarious.
And also, so this is what I was told in this room right now. I found out about this today, but in our conference room during a meeting, I was told this. So I'm not 100% sure, but apparently he does anti-gutka ads during movie theater starts.
No, that's not. That you're talking
Anti-tobacco.
about the
Anti-tobacco
Yeah,
ads. He does anti-tobacco ads where, like, at movie during movie
It's in the
stars.
same
But-
family.
but
That's
those
the
are-
point. Yeah.
It's the same
But is
thing.
that an anti-tobacco ad or is that like a pro-sanitary pad ad? I'm not.
No, I think he
sure.
does an anti-tobacco
No, one
ad.
sec. The
There's a
great creative
difference,
filmmaker that you are, Silverie, you have
No,
gone and
no.
put sanity
No, in
ads
the
with
ad,
tobacco.
I think the
No,
ad
I
is
want
like
to see
about-
this film. How does it start?
Wait.
A man with a cigarette is walking
No,
down
the-
the road and a woman says,
the
do you have a
tab-
pad? What? I
the
mean,
ad
No,
is
one
talking
second.
about-
I want the
Silverie,
story.
It's essentially two different ends of the body. Okay, I just want to put that out.
No, the ad you're talking about isn't the one where Akshay Kumar comes in. There's this dude standing outside the hospital wing smoking a cigarette. The guy says, "Okay, why haven't you?" Akshay Kumar says, "Why haven't you bought sanitary napkins?"
Did
for
she
your wife?"
find the ad?
And this guy's like, "Dude, it's too expensive." So he's like, "अच्छा, ये करने के पैसे हैं तेरे पास sanitary pad खरीदने के पैसे नहीं है." That's the ad.
Okay.
So it's a
Superb.
sanitary
That
pad
must
ad.
have been when he
The ad
that must have
saved
been
you.
before
Yeah.
Padman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that time he was
I-
all into pads and all.
Yeah, I think it could be. Yeah,
Interesting.
I think that was a
Hey,
campaign they
guys,
did.
come on. There are bigger crimes out there
Batman.
than bloody Akshay Kumar doing some wrong endorsing and then
Yeah,
just
but there are
taking it
not
back.
that many more fun crimes to talk about than this,
That's
right?
true. That's true. And soft targets that we can make fun of because we dare say anything about Jangir Puri.
But can you
Except for the
imagine
fact-
tomorrow, because someone saw Akshay Kumar doing a Vimal Pan Masala ad, tomorrow like the biggest bodybuilder in the world, like, अरे यार, चलो cigarette पीते हैं, अब तो ठीक ही है. Akshay Kumar has said it's all good. That's not
But
gonna
that's the
happen.
whole
Really.
reason they pay them. I'm sure
Cigarette
they
smoking
pay
But
them
you think
Honest
that's,
one
massive
to
you
his
think that's
right
actually gonna
is-
happen?
No, so it's about influencing kids.
It is about influence.
It's about
And,
influencing kids.
just-
That's why you have Akshay Kumar and Shah Rukh Khan and.
And we have with us two influenced kids.
Can I just
Yeah.
say
Yes,
that for the sake of the
well, I
tobacco-
don't think that those guys
the
used to do
tobacco
these
lobby
ads
for
back
a minute,
then.
may I speak for them? May I speak for the people who are not here?
Please.
The smokers.
Yes,
May I
as
just
somebody
say,
who has
my
smoked your
own
entire
father
life,
smoked-
please do.
No, my own father. Yeah, but my own father smoked since the age of 16
true.
till 5 years back when he got his
That is true.
neuropathy and decline in his whatever. And his cognitive functioning has never been the same. And I somehow feel that it's almost wrong that he stopped smoking. His quality of life changed. Kunal was a much more friendly and pleasant person till he stopped smoking. He's become more cranky. No, I'm just. I mean, in the
Recency bias.
free and fair dialogue that we have. I'm just
That
just for a
is
second,
Cyrus. Not about your dad, but in the case of Kunal, that is recency bias, or that is rose-colored tinted nostalgia glasses.
No. I've seen this with other people's names you won't know, so no point telling you. I'm just saying it seems like that wasn't doing such a bad job, except for the lung issue, and perhaps maybe they will die about a month or two earlier. But having said that, they kept them happy in a certain way. So I'm just wondering sometimes what the trade-off is. So I'm just saying, smoking not a great thing and all that. But Schwarzenegger smoked right through his bodybuilding. I mean, he didn't smoke while training, but he smoked occasionally. on weekends, etc. Shane wants smoking.
We saw him with a
best
cigar
expert
all
in
the
the world.
time. Schwarzenegger
There you go.
always used to
So,
have a cigar.
if you want athletic examples, artistic examples, Kajol, I've seen her with a cigarette every 5 minutes. Kajol, is this true?
Not me. Not me.
No,
I
the other
don't
one,
smoke
that
at all.
Ajay Devgan's wife.
Ajay
Then,
Devgan
I think
Kajol,
I can't remember which one. Whatever. So I'm just saying, in moderation, maybe it's not the worst crime, but because look at the governance of the world. If they really don't believe in alcohol and tobacco, just stop it, man. Just stop it completely. This gray area
So,
thing, I don't understand.
That was actually that was the argument I was taking. That if you want to give Akshay Kumar shit about this stuff, right, then we got to make it so that these surrogate ads are banned. Or banned is not the right word. I don't like the word
You're
banned.
treating it like crypto. That we will
Yeah.
tax it, but we don't endorse it. What is this nonsense? It's not crypto. It gives a beautiful thing to society. A breath of fresh air, pardon the pun. Not to mention helps the breath.
See, when my dad left his job, okay, now he was terribly into cigarettes, but he didn't leave cigarettes. He switched to BDs. So I'm just saying that even if you remove the big budget ads and all of that, people find something else to smoke.
You cannot, you can't legislate. When you try and legislate this stuff, right? It's essentially called legislating vices or taxing vices or that kind of stuff, right? Shit doesn't work. It's never worked anywhere in the world ever. Period.
Exactly.
It just creates more crime. It creates black markets for goods which should otherwise be freely available.
And that's perhaps maybe not so much Saudi Arabia, but I can't think of any other country in the world where they hooches stop and actual hooch trading stop, which is completely there's no correlation. In Gujarat, in my younger days, whenever we went for plays and stuff, the first thing the rickshaw driver, cabbie would tell you ki country jo hai, the Indian jo hai, they used to use words like that. They would give you the menu in the car.
Yeah.
So, which you don't get in other cities. But in Ahmedabad, I was getting it.
It's never worked. It creates undergrounds. It's like banning. Banning's a interesting topic, which how do you go about doing these things? There's no single right answer, but
so why don't they ban it? Because they want the money that comes in, the commerce that comes in, the taxation that they can levy and all that.
And
so that's
also,
not right. I don't like that. That's hypocrisy from the administration as well. What the hell is going on here?
And so here's the other thing, right? Like ASCII is the Advertising Standard Council of India, right? All of this surrogate advertising, all of this stuff, there is no actual Indian government law which says you cannot do alcohol advertising or you cannot do tobacco advertising or anything like that. It's all ASCII standards. And ASCII is a quasi-governmental body at best. So
but now
it's all confusing
body
stuff.
is Twitter. So you got to be very careful.
Well, that is true.
But is that hindering fair trade then? Like if an alcohol company is not allowed to advertise their products,
right?
It
is in some way, but then again, the thing is that all of the brands and all of the advertisers, including the alcohol companies, are all basically agreeing to be a part of ASCII and function under the rules that ASCII has, because you want some degree of self-governance rather than have the government actually write laws about you. Because if the government writes laws, then that's when you get into real trouble.
Intangible side where we all look at it, we are supposed to PC everything now. So alcohol, tobacco, always bad. We have to premise it. We have to prefix it.
One second. When is it bad? Okay? There's so much indirect advertising in movies and in series.
Then why do we have it? What the hell does that mean?
My point is, every hero is got this flip action where he's putting the cigarette in his mouth and stuff. That is all indirect advertisement. It's making it look cool.
Not anymore. That stuff is all old, na Kajol. Nowadays, it's like you put an ad in your movie, you put a cigarette smoke in your movie, and you have a banner on it across.
And Kajol, to argue that point, I know you're half Tamilian, but you're talking about Rajni in his glory days. You don't see Surya or the next generation really doing that.
Forget all that.
And in Bollywood, you don't see them doing that either. So
I find cigarette smoking.
But that was awesome to me. I used to love the slap the wrist, have the hand flip, and then
But I also loved it, Amit, and I never smoked. I love watching the Rajni tricks. We all used to try it.
That's also by the way, what Amit just described, I just saw it in an Akshay Kumar movie, Main Khiladi To Nadi.
There you go.
The entire movie, he does exactly that.
So then, he is clearly pro-smoking.
Yeah.
Okay, can I say something? Yes.
Please do.
I was not talking about Rajni in general. I was just saying that recently I saw Mad Men, on Netflix. And I hate smoking, but seeing Don Draper with a cigarette in his hand all the fucking time, I found myself reaching for it. Sorry?
So they were being true to the 60s, right? Even in India, in urban India, in the 60s, smoking was huge.
No, okay, let's keep that aside. There was this new series, I'm not getting the name, with 4 women, where they had a lot of edibles, like cannabis edibles. So that is the new thing.
Is it the Bhajan Samaj Party?
No, it's not the Bhajan. It's an English serial. I'm just saying that now the new things is edibles. And they're not even advertising the brand of the edibles, but they're making edibles look cool in series.
So I'm sorry, I don't understand the
My point is that
He's
it's
on
always
something.
been around.
Oh.
I'm sure. I'm sure there must be some background advertisements going on in these
Mhm.
series to make it
No,
look
see,
cool.
my
Oh
point is
yeah.
the soft targets. Again, I'm not supporting Akshay Kumar because I know him or anything, and I don't. I'm just saying that you're attacking these guys, but our society is okay with it actually because this is what
Mhm.
we're doing. Look at it holistically, and this is what we do. We have these
Yep.
options. Exactly to your point that the cinemas have already shown it for 4 or 5 decades and more. International cinema, French cinema, Indian cinema, South, North, everywhere. So let's just accept that it's there, and we've sort of endorsed it ourselves, imbibed it. It's in our DNA. And then suddenly we have this new thing about no, we got to say this all the time. But why is it there then? Be clear. It's a real vice. People are dying. Really, you really believe that? Why is it there? It shouldn't be there.
Well, so that is the question. Do you want to ban it? And if you ban it, you're creating black markets. You do want to regulate it, right? And so, how are you going to regulate it? What are the things that you want to do towards that? Taxation is one thing you can do. Prevent representations is one thing you can do. Create policies which decrease consumption through, like, public education and stuff like is one thing you can do. There are a lot of different ways because there are things that. So the question is, should society
Can I ask
have
you a question? Out of all
yes,
our friends in urban, let's talk urban, is where we belong. Let's not
right?
talk for everyone. In urban India, all our friends, how many of them stop smoking or drinking because of advertising, because of high pricing, and because of messages on bottles and labels,
So I
etc.?
don't think
Not one.
anybody.
According to me,
I
not
don't
one.
think anybody stopped because of that. But I think
So
most of us
who they
started
who they
because it
talking
looked
to?
cool. Most of us started because it looked like a cool thing to do. Right, when we were growing up at that point in time, seeing Amitabh Bachchan walking around in sharabi, you've told me this story. You had the fucking sharabi boot in your
Yeah,
car.
we had the bar in
You
the car
told me
technology. We
you
just
had
call
the
it bar
bar
in
in
the
the
car
car.
technology.
Yeah, you
100%.
had the
We also wore white
you
suits
had it.
on Christmas Day with the bar
Yeah,
in the
so I
car.
mean, we
This
were
is straight
all
out Sharabi.
we were impressionable people. We got basically, we got these things were like,
Sharabi is
oh
based
wow,
on
that's so
Arthur. Huh?
cool.
You can watch that
Huh?
as well.
I
That
know,
being
I've
known
seen
as
Arthur.
Arthur.
Arthur is fun.
These
But
two kids don't
Sharabi
know
is
anything.
more.
I
So
don't know what
It's
Arthur
it is.
is
vaguely
more of
based.
a.
Yeah.
Yes, Arthur is more comedic. Sharabi is more dramatic, I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're
Yeah.
right. When you bring up that example, it was damn cool, and we would use that reference. We would
Yeah.
talk about the song and the title track also.
Yeah.
Log kehte hain, main
Uh,
sharabi hu, if you remember all that. It was
I,
even played sometimes.
I,
So yeah. But that
This
was,
guy,
I mean, come on, you're young.
no,
It's just
no, no,
fun.
no, no. My
Sorry.
no,
point
and
is,
towards
this
Mad
guy
Men,
from
right? Sorry to interrupt, Kajol, but when you were saying Mad Men, right? It's one of the reasons why I don't watch the show really, because I stopped smoking a while ago, and Mad Men really kind of makes me want to smoke. Like really,
it
really wants to
does,
make me smoke.
it does, it
Yeah. So
does.
I mean, like, it's kind of why I just dropped out of it.
But
Oh,
I
My
so
point,
saw
you're talking
nine
about
my
and a
boot
point
half
bars.
is,
Is that
weeks.
where boot bars became popular?
At least in India, I think so. It's the first
So
time
what
I had
you're
ever seen
saying,
one. I had never seen anybody like sitting underneath a girl's apartment and like opening a boot bar, drinking and singing a song to her. That was something which I had never seen before. Probably
I
not the
know.
best behavior in
isn't it?
retrospect, but at the time
Isn't
it
it?
was
But then
funny.
cinema can inspire, or film can inspire you to do so many things. You see a film on sharks and you want to eat sharks. You see Jaws, you
True.
come out, I want to eat sharks. I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, we can't go on like that.
why,
You see
no,
a cowboy movie, you want to be that guy, or a martial arts film, you want to be
No, no,
that
I'm
guy.
not.
okay.
I mean, it's not really. It's
But
just for a
Cyrus, I'm
minute.
not asking that Mad Men be like stopped from people to watch it. I'm just saying that it's a problem I have when I'm watching Mad Men. I feel
It's
like
not.
smoking.
Yeah, but being a former smoker and all that, there's a little different pull coming in. It's like I don't
Yeah,
go to a bar because in case I feel that need to drink and misbehave again, then I want to stop myself.
there
I
you
don't do
go.
Now,
that because
can I
Kajol won't
say
like me
something?
like that. I mean, she
Can
looks
we
at this
make a?
handsome visage and says, "What a good-looking 50-year-old."
I
Oh, by
do,
the
I
way,
do, I do.
Ro, now that you bring it up, Kajol, and you need to see this because this is something that you'll rarely see in our vintage. But it's going to take me time, just like
Okay, while you're looking for it, I have a point to
yeah.
make. Okay, so
Say,
I was told by this guy in Sony that a lot of booze and cigarette companies pour in money into movies just to make cigarettes and booze look cool.
More
It's
appealing.
not generally
101%.
advertising for their specific product.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my point.
101% that happens. There are companies who basically exist for product placement, right? And alcohol companies particularly are huge in this space. There are others like electronics are huge in this space as well. Apple, Microsoft, all the various app companies, but booze companies are huge in this space.
But also, what he mentioned was that they don't necessarily advertise their particular brand. They
Huh.
just are
Want to
okay with
popularize
They
the
want to
product as
create
a whole.
they want the
the
behavior.
product.
They want the
They want the
behavior.
behavior. Yes.
Yeah.
Cyrus.
Kajal, you want it? I'll give it to you. 290 pounds. It's rowing. Okay, Yates style. So it's only a 30 degrees angle because I can't keep my back flat on with such weight. But proper,
Sure.
since you wanted to see it. I don't know. It's not working.
You have to zoom in.
And of course, there's classical music playing in the background.
Is that like
Why aren't you working? I give up.
You
Technology and this show. This show. Oh, yeah, I waved the white
basically,
towel.
can I say what this is? This is basically all the audio listeners saying that, hey, guys,
Screw
there
you,
are more of us here than there are on YouTube.
Stop treating us, like second-class citizens.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Considering we
Alright.
ourselves are such.
Cyrus, we should go into a break, but before that,
Oh,
we
right.
have
I've got so many
Jupiter branded
messages on the
segment.
chat from Vinay, the producer. It's scary.
Yes.
Mother, you bloody... You... Okay, and then there's other things to say.
Take that goddamn break. Okay.
Okay, it's time for our Jupiter branded segment question prompt, and Silverie, our host, will tell us what the question is. And you have to
Yes,
answer
so this is
immediately.
our Jupiter branded special segment where we play a cool improv game, guys. Yay!
Okay.
And the prompt for today for the improv game is bank responses are as slow as for instance,
watching a
bank
tobacco
responses-
ad.
Yeah, it's
Watching
just
tobacco
slow
ads. All those ads the government makes in the old days in cinemas, they were horrible. You should be taxed. The government should be taxed for those ads. Yeah.
Okay, bank responses are as slow as going from Kandivli to Kolaba.
By foot.
Bank responses are as slow as the movement of the Earth's tectonic plates. I learned
wow,
that
okay.
recently.
That's interesting. BST
Bank
buses at
responses-
9 o'clock in the morning on open roads.
Absolutely, that's peak traffic hours.
No,
Bank
even empty
responses-
traffic, they're just aggravating.
Oh,
Bank
what I really
response-
hate now that you want to talk about this is the slow drivers. What are those
Yeah.
monkeys?
Yeah.
What are those morons at 6 in the morning? And the bikers at 6 in the morning they're mental. They're completely crazy. They've lost their
Yes.
minds. The same obnoxious bastards are going up and down at 4 in the evening. They go really slowly, like they haven't had coffee and their engine, their personal body engine is not started. I'm like,
Yes.
coffee pila do as I pass them because he's like dying on the bike, slowly holding up everybody. What's going on with people? But let's go back to bank responses.
Bank responses are as slow as Cyrus getting me a lunch with Kunal.
No, listen, I told him. Kajol, I told him his response was, you know how he overreacts his response, so we never know how sincere it is because he's in his Baman avatar, so he's always overacting. I said, Kajol likes you. So he first did this Kajol, like, who is she? Kajol peering. Then I said, Kajol, the comedian. Oh, Kajol, oh, she's nice. Yeah. So that was his response. So I got a little
Wow.
creeped out by it a little bit because I felt, a little, old uncle getting excited about younger girl. I don't know whether I should be party to this. So what I'll do is I'll get you in touch with him and then it's your thing. Because I have to sleep at night.
I don't think you've told him. Okay.
I swear on my mother I told him.
You've not told
Today he's not here, otherwise he's always here irritating us. But I will
Okay.
forthwith get on. Amit, Silverie,
Yes.
as my witness, we will sort this out and make sure that we get something out of this from the podcast. They'll do 5 minutes of their date for us or
Yeah.
something.
We need
Fair
to
enough.
have them on the episode together, Kunal and Kajol, and make
Just
that
one
into their
request,
date.
Kajol, and please don't take offense when I say this because you are a very pretty woman and I find you highly charming. But don't tell me you live in Kandivli.
What?
Kunal basically lives, according to Kunal, he lives at the border.
Where is Kunal living?
Prabhadevi.
Kunal got a job with Z. Okay, when he was younger.
One second.
It was like
Wait,
the head
Cyrus,
of
we haven't finished the segment yet. Let's finish the segment.
Oh,
okay.
Please. We're just going into stories. Okay, final. Bank responses are as slow as people blowing shit up in movies and then walking away from it in slow motion.
Oh, nice.
I got
bank
another one if you want.
responses are as slow as watchmen showing you how to park after you finish parking. I just
Yes!
that's another thing drives me nuts.
Yes,
How
absolutely.
about this, Cyrus?
John-
This you will.
Oh.
Bank responses are as slow as the car lift in this new office building.
Listen, Amit, please, I didn't want to bring it up. Why? How can it be such torture? Silverie, if you're looking at the time trying to leave now, everything is going wrong as you know Murphy's Law. Then you get into the damn lift. And that lift, it just doesn't lift. There's no movement. You're just sitting there like a loser and you're thumping your legs on the thing because it just doesn't go. It takes a good 45 seconds to go 3.5 feet. I'm not kidding. The first time I thought there was something wrong with us. Like, it's surreal. Like nothing's happening. It's worse than the podcast. It's on, but nothing's on. Oh, God. Yeah. We'll take a quick Jupiter money break and then we'll come back about the date with Kajol and Kunal, the Beauty and the Beast segment.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Advertising is Dead, content strategist Manish Pandey shares useful insights about the creator economy with Varun. On The Longest Constitution, it's an Ambedkar special. Priya tells us about the father of the Indian Constitution. On Shunya 1, Sheila Ditya asks Mihir Gupta, CEO and co-founder of Teachment, about his dream of changing the Indian education system. On Big Talk About Tiny Humans, Devi Shobha and Meghna share how to navigate the delicate process of LGBTQIA kids coming out to their parents. And on Tere Mere Raaste, Keshav takes us to the birthplace of so many great films, Universal Studios. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you enjoyed this show or any of our other shows for that matter, do please tell a friend. Also, don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms you're listening to us on. You can check us out on YouTube as well. On ivmpodcast.com/YouTube, we have a list of all of our YouTube channels. Do check out if your favorite show is available as full video. We are also doing a small listener survey to better understand how you respond to our shows and advertising on the network. We'd really appreciate it if you could spare a few minutes to fill it out. It helps us build better shows for you. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors for this week, SBI Life Insurance, India Water Portal, and Jupiter, a digital banking app. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Okay, I think it'll play, Kajol. There it is. Take a look. Take a look. Okay.
Nice.
Fantastic. Now this is
Very
very
nice.
slow, so the form doesn't look great because the body's not bent that far, but it's 290 pounds, so obviously gets a little sloppy. And for reps,
Very
6 reps. And I'm 50 years old. It's a 50-year-old body.
Cyrus,
Not
you
bad.
keep harping about it.
easy.
No, 1 second. Shut up. Cyrus, you keep
It's all
harping
thanks to
about it.
tobacco, yaar. It's all thanks to my tobacco.
No,
Vimal
I will make
Elaichi.
my point. Okay. Since when is 50 old?
Oh God, are you nuts?
I don't understand why we bought.
Rustam Modi and Abad Ponda who work out with me. They were chatting for 45 minutes. That was their workout. They were discussing
I'm
a
just
podcast.
saying.
So
I'm
I'm just saying. We're all
No,
in the
I'm
same
just saying
ballpark.
that since when is 50 old? Why is everyone? Why are
Because
you
when you
harping
get up-
about?
When you get up in the morning and Silverie says the joints are things you smoke, and for us it's what you stretch and open and hold
Shut
and
up!
feel
No,
and
no.
let me tell you, there is a difference.
Firstly, you're Parsi. Okay, so technically,
They just live longer. Doesn't mean the joints don't pain, Baba.
No. Technically, you can pass off for about 15 years below. Okay.
15 years is a stretch. I think somebody's
Okay.
having a pan masala early
But
today.
how
This is my point.
so literally, I was reading something recently which basically emphasized how much age is literally just in the mind. Basically, it's something about power of the mind, right? Like, say if you keep
Say
thinking to yourself,
Dave
"Okay,
Chappelle talking
I
about
don't fall
positive
sick.
enforcement.
I never fall sick. I don't fall sick at all. Never fall sick." And then you won't fall sick for like years on an end because you're thinking that you won't fall sick.
Because germs listen
It's
to your
nothing-
mind.
okay.
No, but like,
I'm
no.
just-
See,
What are you
if you
doing?
break a bone, obviously you've broken a bone. There's nothing you can do beyond that.
No, even like germs and like you
No, but a
get
lot of it, there is
illnesses
the
through
power of the
viruses
mind,
through
right?
germs.
One
But there is
second,
such
one
something
second.
where you
Let
think
Kajol
that you're
speak. She
fine,
wants to
and that makes
I
your
want,
body.
I want to say
dis-
this. I want to
espouse
say
your
this
Fine.
theory. Huh.
because of all this age shaming that Cyrus does of himself. But my point is, it's not an Indian
Me too,
thing,
me
you
too,
know?
me too. He shames me as well.
Okay.
Amit, you're just a year younger than me. You know,
hate
you're just a year
supari.
younger than me.
Our diet was supari growing up. Who are we going to point fingers at?
Okay, no, listen. My point is that in India, we've got this entire thing that either you achieve stuff by 30 or you have to die. Like there is no, we don't tend to look at life beyond 30, and that's just stupid. We are speaking very stupid Gen Z language. 50 is not old, neither is 60. It's just dumb.
No, see, if I have to be absolutely arrogant, then it's because I'm a Plato idealist and I wanted to have a healthy mind and body. The mind didn't work out, so I just tried to keep my body healthy. That's it. The body is a temple and all that. But whatever, I don't care about all these things. It's just my thing, and I like to do it. I'm happy, and I can't explain to other people because when bodybuilders, especially amateur bodybuilders, talk about these things, it's so puerile and stupid to say, I did a 400-pound vis-a-vis a 395-pound lift or whatever. And why are you happy? Because it's nothing compared to what competitions do or what the greats do or whatever. But we just feel really happy. It's like it's a small Pyrrhic victory, and you just take it. And only a guy who does it understands. Otherwise, it's
I'm
just a
not
waste of
saying
time
that.
conversation.
But
I'm not saying
if I can add to this, right, I also kind of believe that everybody who continuously says this stuff, oh, I'm so old, is just waiting to be corrected. It's like, fishing for compliments, but not exactly.
Damn you, Supari man! You psychologist, you!
No, it's not just you, Cyrus, at 50 or me at 48, but I've heard this from people at 30. Oh my God, I'm so old. I'm 30 now. I'm out of my 20s. I feel so old. I'm 18 now. I'm no longer in school.
I'm also fighting a theoretical battle. Now you want to get into this and I'll bore you guys to death. A theoretical battle with people who don't realize there's one side that understands that weight training is the only way to age gracefully. It's the only thing you can do properly as you get older. And that's barbell, hardcore training, not machines, not playing around with ropes, not running on a treadmill. Okay? And otherwise, oh, you're too old, your bones, this, and it's all rubbish. It's the only thing that will stop, well, not stop it, but, hold it back a little bit. So this is my gift, but they don't listen to me. Nobody listens to me. So I just, like this old person doing something on the side.
I'm saying, please go ahead and bodybuild and do all of that. I'm talking about the Indian mentality, where comedians, till they're 29, they're like, oh, I went on Tinder and stuff. The day they turn 30, they go on stage and they're like, my back hurts, I'm 30.
Damn it. I'm turning 30 in just a couple of months.
So you got your routine ready. Come on.
Yeah, I got it ready. I got one bit now finally about 30.
And the second bit can be, but at least it's not as bad as Cyrus. He turned 50. Then you do that routine.
What do you guys think of when people say phrases like, 50 is the new 40 and 50 or 30 is the new...
that's been going on forever.
Forever. It's not
40 is the new 30, 30 is the new 20, 20 is the new 50, 50 is the new 40.
With my wife, they always say, so how are the 3 children or how's your 3rd child? That goes on. No matter how old and dying I am, I'll be a cripple in a wheelchair, but it'll still be how's that the oldest child, the worst behaved, all that. That labeling goes on.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily fundamental to your personality, right? I've heard that many times from my friends, and their wives are asked.
Get that, so really.
And guys get that. So you all have the better end of the stick there. Okay.
Yeah.
There are some immature girls. I mean, the ones who marry.
But they're not called. They're not called.
The
kids. They're not called.
Like guys. When your backs are turned, we say all kinds of bad things. I'll be honest with you. This PC thing is only for public. I mean, how much we love tobacco and all comes out. Amit has done a whole monologue on the less harmfulness of tobacco. Chekhov, no disrespect. Have I spoken too much?
Talking more about...
It's all in fun. No.
Talking more about health and healthcare, let's get to another topic before we get to the AMAs. There are rising cases in Delhi of COVID-19, and some of their restrictions are back on, like mask mandates are back on in public places, public gatherings, even in schools. Now you have to wear masks again.
So
that makes me kind of sad.
WHO says get your vaccines done, second, third, whatever. But what if you still get it? What do they say then? Like, thanks for trying? Like, what's the...
No, dude,
no.
You're not dying.
Yeah. You won't die. The effects of it will be less.
You're not dying.
But then let's not panic.
Let's not panic. Agreed. You're not dying. Get the vaccine.
But Delhi has slightly panicked, boys and girls.
Agreed.
There's a little panic there. They've shut the wedding things, and all the usual suspects go first.
Yeah. So I think the shutting. So again, with a disease this infectious, and where, despite best efforts and India not having real vaccine hesitancy in huge numbers, still only, I think, 55-60% of the population has taken the first dose? It's something like that. It's not like a huge number. So given that, if you don't get vaccinated...
UP has said 86% of all adults have both doses.
UP numbers are always reliable.
These figures are always like top of the line.
Perfectly reliable.
Yeah, and as we speak, they go up. There might be 90 by the time the podcast ends.
Yeah, on it. 100%.
On it. Boom, boom. Mr. Sharma, where are you going? Bang!
All right. Should we get to the AMAs? There's one more topic if you want to cover, but I think that might be a longer topic.
Which one is it?
So basically,
is it the John Abraham video that didn't play? I would love to see that.
Damn it. Yeah. If only. So basically, the Karnataka government. So Karnataka is a state where the whole hijab row has been going on, and the Azan thing is also being debated there, as it is being debated in Maharashtra and all over India. And now they've announced, the Karnataka government has announced that religious books like the Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, even the Quran and others, and other religious texts also, will be added to school syllabuses as part of the moral science subject.
Sorry, what state is this?
This is Karnataka.
Wow.
Okay, so in my time, you did moral science to escape. It was scripture at that point. Religion. Yeah. Religious instruction. The moral science is a non-religious instruction. So that's beautiful that they've just gone and said, forget that, it's all religious. Secondly,
I did moral science. I did moral science in the context.
Yeah, so it was about ethics and...
They spoke stories from the Bible.
So basically, what my understanding is it was a Christian school thing, is it? Moral science? Because
it was in... I had it in my school too.
Didn't have.
No, listen, your parents, I don't know how much they loved you, Silverie, but they made sure they kept you away from moral science.
I got exempted from third language and moral science.
Yes. So I think that's a beautiful gesture by your parents. I'm telling you.
I think I had moral science to the third...
Oh,
sorry.
Oh, okay.
What?
Maybe.
Yeah. No, we had moral science to the third standard. Then fourth and fifth, we had environmental science. And then sixth standard onwards,
even us, it was
we got into...
Please don't ask me to think which year and all. I mean, that's...
I might be... I'm indicatively correct, not accurately correct.
So they are saying this is the way to teach to students good moral
I have a
values at an
question.
early age.
Don't you think
But
India
it's
is a
not.
country that will benefit from less religion instead of more religion
Oh
as an
God, yeah,
option?
dude. And
Absolutely.
also, listen,
Especially right now, it does seem like that.
when you start examining religious texts, I mean, like, seriously, not many moral lessons to be taken
Pandora's
from there.
box again. Jeez.
Yeah,
Ouch.
no, so I'm not saying, I'm not getting into the specifics, but each religion, if you look at their text,
Yeah.
all of the religions, right, they are they were written thousands of years ago, but they're
And
extraordinarily
sometimes not even
problematic.
written. Sometimes it's sort of like
Yeah.
put together. It's not like one guy sits there with a typewriter and says, "Okay, God says," ching, ching, ching. It's not exactly that either. Yeah.
We find stuff that was
He's
made
ignored me.
40 years ago, 50 years ago, we find that shit problematic. So imagine stuff which is written thousands of years ago. Of course it's going to be problematic. So I mean,
the very
like,
basis, if you want to get into this, we've done it on earlier podcasts. Also, very basis is you've got to take a leap of faith. Your sensibilities have to be, it's like dramatic sort of, you allow that to happen and say, okay, so the world was formed. I mean, all the religions don't give a proper scientific basis to anything. On the seventh day, this happened. I'm speaking of a little bit that I know from, say, the Bible, but I'm not trying to attack the Bible alone.
no,
Let me be
but
clear.
they're
The world we live
all
in.
creation myths are equally ludicrous, right? I mean, like, there
Yeah,
are.
the basis of the myth is what? What is the source of where it comes from? There's no scientific source
So,
about anything.
great
all
channel.
religion is metaphor. In my moral science class, we mainly dealt with kindness, compassion. So there were stories picked out for those values,
Unheard of
which I
qualities.
don't think is bad. Sorry.
Yeah. Unheard of qualities though. Kindness,
No,
compassion.
No, come on.
Yeah. Where?
They had an impact on me.
Last act of kindness is when I didn't run over Mrs. Shah because she took long to exit the building lobby. And I didn't run over her. That's the only thing I can think of. Both compassionate and kind. But I did want to.
So there's an amazing channel on YouTube called Crash Course, and they have a quote-unquote course over there called The History of Mythology, and they deal with all these creation myths, and these things are batshit nuts, man. Most of them are just crazy, and they're all from all different kinds of religions, all different kinds of cultures. Many of them involve essentially sex as a means of procreation, as a means of planetary kind of creation.
Well, that alone has caused such a... Oh, let's not get there.
No, it's amazing how much stuff is there and how different some of these things are, and at the same time how there is this kind of commonality between them.
And what is it about the written word? When you see the written word, it's literally, I hate to use the phrase, gospel. What is it about that? Just because it's written doesn't mean it's right. You know, I mean, really, when this is written, you cannot loiter here. Oh, we cannot loiter here. But why can't we loiter here? What the hell?
There's
Not
this
a
is a deep
religious
body
thing,
of
but anyway.
this is a deep body of study. There's a deep body of study around basically how different things influence individual people, right? And that's what you're talking about. Like when you see somebody telling you something that influences you in a certain way, you hear somebody tell you something that influences you in a certain way, you read something that influences you in a certain way. All of these things have cultural kind of cachet and cultural kind of heft that's given to it, right? So, for example, the written word in Western culture, holds an authoritative space that it does not in most further Eastern cultures than India, Japan, China, etc., etc. It does not have that same kind of sense of
Probably because
sacrosanctness.
Western languages are not understood by the Japanese and the Chinese. So if you write in German the instruction, for example, in Tokyo, you're not getting that many people saying, Vasi is that. They don't know what it is.
Fair point.
Ignoring me, going back to your point. Yeah.
No, I was referring more to the printing presses and the languages in their own this, right?
You don't have to
but
clarify.
Again, no,
It's
so
okay.
I know that, but the fact that these languages, Chinese, Japanese, are pictographic rather than character based, right? I think what that leads to is a different way of how people experience these things. We're not West, but I mean, like we are all for products of Western culture, if you will, right? And so for us, written is it is the sense of authority. Everything we see when we watch
Middle
video,
class
it doesn't
India.
do.
The so-called You know, somebody told us there's over 100 million English-speaking people in India now. That's the second largest by a large margin after America.
But only 15 million speak English as the first language.
That's okay. 100 million people can communicate in English.
I think it's a larger number. I think it's larger than that. I think it's close to 200, but only 15 speak English.
But if you can just say you fuck off, that doesn't mean you know English. Because I know a lot of people can say that and after that they have no other line. Yeah. No, we get into a fight with somebody and they start changing languages, and then you see quickly you're able to tell how good they are because they have only one gali in Punjabi, one gali in Marathi. They run out, and then they go to the core language of the main galis. It exposes the person. The fabric of society can be seen through the eyes of galis. Guys, great show. Bored now. What should we do?
Let's do a couple of AMAs.
Yes, absolutely. All right, AMAs.
4 minutes. Look, Cyrus is looking to the right.
No, I have to walk the dog.
Somebody's calling for
Didn't you see
dinner.
me send messages? Nobody's walking my dogs. He's looking at me. I'm looking at him. What can I do? Sorry, bro. Let down by the ladies again. Kajol.
All right.
Love fighting?
We've got you covered.
Check out our show, The Fighting Goat, where we, the voices of the internet, Arjun Chipalkatti and Somesh Kamra, bring to you crazy weekly action on your favorite combat show, The Fighting Goat.
Be it commentary, breakdown, predictions, analysis of styles and techniques.
And of course, your round of favorite fighters.
You can listen to us every Thursday on the IBM Podcast app, website, and all major podcast streaming platforms.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me.
All right, the first AMA comes in from Mrin Moe, who says, Cyrus, I need some advice as I'm reaching 30 in 3 years.
God, that's so bad.
What? I just said I'm
20
turning
years
30
more
like
than
a
that. You know,
month and a half, man.
He's humiliating me. It's a humiliation in the question.
So he says, some sort of do's and don'ts, if you will, that you can share with me. Much appreciated. P.S. Any regrets from your late 20s?
Can I shout at him?
Yeah, I mean, please do. Yes.
What's his name again? Can I see his name?
He's a comedian.
Yeah,
Mrin
Mrin
Moy.
Moy, Mrin.
Mrin
Buddy.
Moy, okay.
In 3 years, huh? Kajol is not even
Yeah.
around the corner.
What are you
3
talking
years
about,
away.
man?
Okay, Mrin Moy.
1/10 of his life away. Oh.
Nothing is going to happen. Okay, life will carry on just as it was when you were in your 20s. Only now you will feel like you're very old because society will make you think that way. Please resist it. Okay, because nothing has changed. Go on, Cyrus.
No, come on. For some men, by the time they're 30, their test levels go down drastically. It depends. Each one is different. There are all kinds of problems that can come after that. So I'm saying be prepared. Life sucks. Read Shakespeare's tragedies. Everybody dies in the end. Once you understand that, you're okay. Then you don't worry too much about the end because the end doesn't matter. It doesn't justify anything. Just let it be. Also, one last
Chinmay
thing is...
Mishra has said, I'm turning 177 years.
I think, Amit, you take that one. You're the wiser one. So let's say...
I got nothing to add. Like both of you are saying, I mean, these age things are nonsensical to some degree. But I think, yeah.
No, you do appreciate as you age that you've not done enough sort of thingy. So you start
what I
getting
was
more
saying.
serious about things that you wanted to do. That does, it's like a wake-up call, which will happen more. I noticed with me and my friends as well, so then suddenly they say, I
Are we
have to...
supposed to peak in our 20s? Like, are we supposed to get
it's
out
like the
of
bucket list in your mind. You start realizing you're running out of time. So it may act as a catalyst for you to actually do something instead of just waiting. You sort of just wait. It's like waiting for Godot. Our lives is like that. You're sorry?
Also, I'd add to that, right, Kajol, that I think that basically you have least amount of responsibilities in your 20s. So things like going for trips.
That's true. That's
right. Like one of the things I've been thinking recently of, right, is I'm reasonably well traveled internationally, in the US specifically, and in Europe a little
you
bit.
haven't been to Kandivali East.
I have not traveled in India outside of Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore. I've been to Calcutta once in my life. I've been to Chennai once in my life. I've been to Gujarat a few times as a kid, and I think that's it.
I can recommend Himachal now.
Yeah,
but I've shown Chondola and UP. There's that nice place where the guy robbed the store.
I should go check that out.
But
this kind of travel, right? This is stuff that you can do in the 20s, especially in India, locally, domestically. This is stuff you can do, which I don't think that you wind up doing later in life because you're busy.
Okay. While we were answering these questions, we've aged. So let's get on with this.
Sushant, that's the name. I'm not making it up.
What's your name?
Sushant has asked CHUCHANT.
What?
Yeah, that's the name.
No, don't try. Let it be.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Sushant says the studio looks nice today. Where Amit and Silverie are. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Next one comes in from VB, who says, do you all like meetha pan? I really like meetha pan.
Yeah, but it was expensive, at least when I was growing up. So that was a Saturday night thingy where the guys with the money would take us to Muchard. He'll tell you about it. Amit will tell you about it. So that's slightly more. Miran Supari is a kid's thing, at least for me. If I was a young kid, I was alone and I ate that. Pan is not it's a thing you need someone with you. It's a social kind of thingy. It's always with people. I can't remember ever going alone to eat pan. Amit, did you ever go alone to eat pan?
No, I would agree with that. Supari was, you're right. Supari was what you did when you were in school. Pan was in college, right? Basically at night you'd call somebody. Again, we didn't have bars, we didn't have clubs,
we didn't
have
the bars came towards the
when I was in,
early 20s,
so when I was Rasna Pub opened when I was in SYJC, right?
But they had to get a girl to enter and all. He was damn strict, that guy. We just look at the door and leave. 7 guys and one with transgender.
I used to generally go in a large group of people, so there were like 30 people, 20 guys, 25 guys, 5-6 girls, but still it worked enough so that we could.
Why is it always that we in South Bombay always had less girls and more guys? What's wrong with the parents? Stop giving us children who are men. Now the generation is going to suffer.
I think it was more like the girls were not really allowed to go out. I think it honestly
and
was
the 5 girls who were willing to go out, God, were they popular.
Yes, sir.
Like, Smita, you have to come. You don't understand. You alone, 7 of us enter. You have to understand that. The responsibility is huge. Yeah.
But Pan was always the, hey, let's go for a drive. Let's go eat a Pan at this place. Hey, it's been a long time. Let's go to Khar and eat a Pan.
The Muchad, I know he's seen bad days and after that. But it was quite a thing, right? It was part of your agenda that you would eat at Santosh Sagar.
There's one more place in Fountain.
I know what you're talking about. Damn it. Volga.
Volga.
Yes. I used to send supari to my brother from Volga in America. We used to go and buy like boxes of supari from Volga and then send it to him.
So confusing with the post office because Volga is a river in Russia. So,
I'm pretty sure that if a letter reaches Fountain, it's unlikely to want to go to Russia.
Now? Okay. Yes. Today, speaking 100%. Yeah. All right, guys. Should we do one last one?
Yes. Aditya Sharda has asked, guys, even if you were offered a bucket load of money, is there a product that you wouldn't ever endorse?
I don't know.
That's a hard question.
I think not. I don't know. I find it's all hypocritical anyway, sometimes. And then the celebrity has to come and say how much.
Are there products or like branches of products that you are vehemently against? Like I know Amit.
Well, if the Nazi party.
Sorry, I'm
against Apple products.
I'm not against Apple. I think that I believe that Windows machines and Android phones are a better value for your money than Apple products. That's it.
But would you still endorse if you
were this close to sealing the deal with Apple till this conversation?
No, but I don't think that Apple considers themselves value for money.
No, now we got to wait for Elon Musk to buy
product.
9.2% of Apple. Otherwise, we have no chance. Then we get our free speech back.
I would never endorse a fairness product.
That's an interesting one.
Not that I'd be called to endorse it, but I'm just saying, if I was, I would never do it.
So honestly, I'm a little sketchy on astrology stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like pseudoscience.
Interesting. Yeah. No, not pseudoscience. Astrology particularly.
Only a really irritating philosophy. Like I probably would struggle with Nazism. They say, would you be the poster boy for Nazism? We're trying to revive it. We're having a gala ball. Indians, Brahmins only. Can you bring them? Whatever. I think that would be
interesting.
Hard. But I can't think of products really. Because I think products really is stupid. If you want to buy it, buy it. You don't want to buy it, don't buy it. Okay, what she's talking about, because it's this whole thing about, racial profiling and the stupidity in our culture of dark skin versus, that there is a fair point there. But by and large, things like Fevicol, Pepsi Cola, wafers, really are they that bad? Who cares? I didn't know. What's the big deal? I did Chandrika soap which is a classical South Indian middle-class woman soap. I didn't do it. As in they came to me and said, we want to try something different. We want an MTV VJ to endorse the soap. Let's see how it goes. Campaign bombed really badly. Because the 3 MTV followers that bought it in, Mount Carmel College, that was great, but they lost all the women of the South. But it was quite a thing. And by the way, guys, unless you offer the money, you can't answer this question. Because I got to tell you, if I
the
put
money
50
matters.
million, then you're going to start, those 2 voices will start saying.
Yeah, I'll do astrology apps for like a significant chunk of money.
And
money matters.
You pick up the paper and it says that today is going to be a great day for you. You're like, what? Yeah. What was I thinking? This is correct. Yeah.
No, we actually had this call. So we were doing a sales meeting today, and we actually had this discussion, right? That there's a show that we're looking for a sponsor for right now, and there are a couple of different kind of sponsorship possibilities on that show. And so then the question is, should we take from this guy? Should we take more money from this brand or less money from this brand? And it's a real thing that actually does come up sometimes.
But I'm talking about the softer things. Fairness cream is actually quite a dangerous thing. It's a different thing altogether. But I'm talking about beverages, for example, who get a really bad name, or junk food. I don't think they're that bad. I think viewer discretion has to be exercised in all this. There's got to be a point to that.
Did you see that Veer Sanghvi article about fast food actually being relatively healthy compared to like most of the other fine dining stuff?
Have you seen Veer Sanghvi's waistline?
Yes.
Well, no, but his
with due respect, he's a lovely guy. Yeah.
No, so he was making a point about basically how UK has a law now about you have to put calorie counts on each item on a menu, and he's like that. a fast food burger, it's not particularly healthy, but it's 400, 500 calories, right? Whereas if you go to like a fancy fresh restaurant and you have like a lack of rams, that's like 200, 2,500 calories.
That's meat for meat. But I'm saying in India with the carb variant, the calories go up even more. But also I'm saying, why are you going to McDonald's and thinking I want a healthy meal? I know they're trying to advertise that, but why are you going?
No.
You
but
go there for your junk food craving. So just go and eat, or don't go.
People think that if they have a glass of chai with 4 glucose biscuit, they're in the clear. And it's actually as bad as a burger.
And the burger tastes better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know animals were harmed during the filming of this commercial. Okay, sorry.
I don't think anybody thinks that burgers are good for you, right? I think that would be a foolish kind of thing to think. But at the same time, I think that we kind of get bent out of shape over what is the most unhealthy thing.
Pizzas, on the other hand, though, are very good for you. It's very healthy.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Yeah, correct. That's it.
You don't know that that's a quote from somewhere. Wait, I'll find out.
Pizza is a vegetable?
Pizza is a vegetable. It's a quote from somewhere. No, it's a song. Okay. It's a song by Jonathan Mann.
Alright, cool.
I'm putting it in a box in my house. Tobacco, alcohol, cold soft drinks, junk food, wafers, hamburgers, pizzas. I'm putting them all in a box and saying, I'm going to fight for these guys. Somebody has to stand up for the little guy. I will stand up for the little guy. And I will fight for you. You stay with me. Enough is enough. You guys can take on all the other subjects. Let's war against PC. This PC has gone too far and too long. Enough of it. Kajol, come back to our side, please. Come on. Let's meet midway. This has become ridiculous, ridiculous.
What am I doing?
The world is going mad about, you've got to edit everything you say. You've got to apologize half the time. And your entire routine is going to be like 6 apologies, with a little bit in between. And then you have to apologize to this lobby or that. Everybody takes offense. You're upset everybody here, there. The freedom of thought is just gone. What's the point of that? And now they even tell you at events, you guys know as well, they tell you, don't say this, don't say that. It was just sex in the beginning or, something here, religion or whatever. There's much more now. There are like 62 do's and don'ts and what's left. Make fun of your father. Okay, that's it.
I can't even do that, yeah. In Women's Day events, they're like, please don't bash men, huh? They feel bad afterwards.
But there are no men there. Are there men there?
Of course there are men there. Corporates have generally men and women.
Yeah, and you think only corporate women get to take the time off for an afternoon for a comedic performance? You think men don't get that? Of course, men should have equal rights.
Somebody will have an axe to grind over that. Let's not bring that up. Just leave it. Okay. What a fascinating show, guys. It's been great. But don't forget to download the Jupiter Money app on the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. That's key. That's imperative. Because as I mentioned, all these different products, we want them to stay with us. All except fairness creams. And what is your problem? Astrology. Which you're wishy-washy about?
Well, if the money is good enough, I'm good for astrology.
Okay. But we say no to fairness creams and Nazism. These two were clear. Bye, guys.
Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter, on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.
Don't you think that if everyone around you is getting smart, you better be smarter? Hey there, I'm the traveling professor Siddharth Deshmukh and I'm back with season 2 of my podcast to make you smarter. Smarter with Sid. What's this season's focus about? Well, it's about 10-minute nuggets that will make you stand out at work. It's time to go from smart to smarter. Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday and become smarter with Sid.